Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the ROBOTIS CS YouTube channel. Today I'd like to go over how you can use ROBOTIS' free software, Dynamixel Wizard 2.0, to troubleshoot shutdown status in your Dynamixels, as well as perform a self-troubleshooting using the functions in the software. So to begin, we're going to need to connect to our Dynamixel, and to connect to your Dynamixel, the first thing in the software that we want to do is set up where you're scanning to connect. So we're going to select Options, and you're going to confirm that you're scanning the correct port, as well as the correct baud rate and protocol of your Dynamixels. To find out more about baud rate and protocol, feel free to visit the links in the description of this video. So here we've confirmed that we're searching on the correct settings. We're going to click OK, and now we can click Scan. So here we can see we've detected one Dynamixel that we're going to troubleshoot today. This is the Dynamixel XL430. So here we can see when Dynamixel has a issue that is causing it to shut down, you will normally see the shutdown code logged in the Dynamixel's firmware under a specific firmware address. So first, let's go over the criteria that allow a Dynamixel to shut down. And when a Dynamixel enters shutdown, what happens is the torque of the motor is disabled, so the motor is turned off to protect it from any dangerous situations, and the Dynamixel has to be rebooted before it can once again be operated. This allows users to fix any issues that might have been causing the shutdown and protects the hardware in the event of a dangerous situation. So on the shutdown firmware address, we can see the different conditions that allow the Dynamixel to enter shutdown mode. So here we see a few different triggers that you can select or deselect. Generally, ROBOTIS does not recommend turning off any shutdowns. This can void the warranty of your Dynamixel. But so here, we're going to move on from shutdown to the firmware address where the error code is actually stored. So to find the error code causing your shutdown, we're going to enter hardware error status. So here we can see hardware error status, and this is where the shutdown code that caused the shutdown is going to be recorded until the Dynamixel is rebooted. So here we can see hardware error status, decimal value of 1. That corresponds to an input voltage error. So we know that currently the input voltage is the issue that we need to resolve with our Dynamixel. Once you've identified the cause of your shutdown, you can work to correct the shutdown, or you can also perform additional troubleshooting using the Dynamixel Wizard 2.0 software by using the self-troubleshooting function. So to use self-troubleshooting, we're going to go into software to Tools and click Self-Diagnosis. So here you'll see a warning. The software recommends that the Dynamixel not be installed or attached to any fixtures because the self-diagnosis will make the Dynamixel move. Furthermore, you want to confirm that only one Dynamixel is connected during any diagnosis. Then you can click Yes to start the diagnosis. First, you'll confirm your name and firmware version of your Dynamixel. We're going to click Yes. And here we can see the description of the hardware error statuses. So please correct any error if there is any before proceeding. Do you want to continue? Because we're not sure what the input voltage error has caused, we're going to say yes. It'll ask you to check the temperature of your environment, as well as the voltage being supplied to the Dynamixel. Now it's going to ask you whether the LED on the Dynamixel is blinking. Confirm that on your model and then click yes. Now the software is going to check the homing of the Dynamixel. It's going to ask you whether the horn output is currently located at the top middle of the Dynamixel, which is 12 o'clock. You can check this by looking for either a small detent on the horn or a small line on the edge of the horn, depending on whether the horn is metal or plastic. We're going to click yes, and now the Dynamixel will be tested. And here, now that we've completed the self-diagnosis, we can see the results of the hardware diagnosis. It looks currently the velocity is over specification due to the input voltage being over the recommended value. So once you have the results of your shutdown and self-diagnosis results, you can go ahead and fix the issues or continue with service for your Dynamixel. Thank you for joining us today, and please feel free to like and subscribe to the ROBOTIS CS YouTube channel for more content on how to use Dynamixels.